In 1978, Father Claude Dutil, who was an Episcopal priest, decided that on his birthday, he wanted to go out and reach out to some people in Chinatown. He had seen them on the street, for a long time and really wanted to do something about it. And I think that for him, it was something personal because he himself, was an alcoholic and he had suffered mental health issues. He had some depression that he was dealing with, that he had overcome. And I think he really got a sense that, but for the grace of God, he could be there also and really wanted to reach out to these people. And so on that first day, he went out with some coffee and some peanut butter sandwiches, and he just offered, them a simple snack and an ear to listen. And I think it's that desire to help, just simply to help and to be there for someone, that is part of who we are, IHS, today.
From the minute someone walks through the doors at IHS, they encounter staff who sincerely care, and some of the staff have even experienced the plight of homelessness themselves.
When I came to IHS, the very first day I came to IHS, I was homeless. I was looking for a place to live, a place to sleep. I'd been living homelessly for 2 days, and 7 months later I was hired at IHS. And now that I see the picture and realize how close each one of us is to homelessness, it actually encourages me to do my job better.
The Institute for Human Services is really here to provide respite for those who are unsheltered, and those are the people who are in the street or in the parks. But we're also here to really transform lives. I think that there's a whole package of services that we provide that really can help people have hope and really, really change their lives.
A safe place to sleep, a hot shower, and basic necessities like toiletry, laundry, and mail service are not taken for granted here. Here, they find support, solutions, and most importantly, hope.
I think, when people think about homeless services, they think about, the tangible things like, providing food, providing shelter and clothing. But I really believe that there's much more, to a person's healing than providing the tangibles. We do have health services and even mental health services here. But I really believe that touching a person spiritually and really looking at the person as a whole person is really important in their healing.
I became homeless because of domestic violence. I was like in a 7 year relationship with my kid's father, and it took me like six and a half years to leave him. But I flew over here to stay with my dad, but I had to leave my dad, so I got into IHS. While I was there, I was putting money aside, and then I got a job at Macy's. I just, worked with them, and then I just got a call from the housing saying that, oh, we have a place available for you. I have my own yard, my own personal space, and it just feels good to have my own place, finally. Yeah. If it wasn't for IHS, I wouldn't be here right now.
Hundreds of volunteers come together each year to serve at IHS, from sorting clothes at the cocoa corner to reading a book to a child or tutoring them in their homework.
I love volunteering here at IHS, and now that I'm here, what I really love is being around the kids that I help and seeing such bright, kind, sweet children, and hopefully having an impact on their lives and helping them to learn and have some order and some structure while they're here.
Me getting excited is seeing all these wonderful women here working really hard, really enthused about it, showing up for every class. The only thing is I can't keep them here and hire them myself. I wish I could hire all of them myself and keep them here, but right now that's not possible. So hopefully we can get them out into community, get them back on their feet, head them in the right direction, and have them take off and do positive things in the community.
We had an opportunity to come in and work on a project here for IHS to enhance two of the major spaces that the children use downstairs, children and families. I've never worked with an organization that dealt with the homeless, and I really wanted it to be an educational experience, and it was. I had no idea that there was an organization like IHS that was making such a dramatic difference in these folks' lives.
Well, I'm here because I was assigned here as an intern student for my BSW. Every Friday from about 6 to 7, we do have a teen group going on that I conduct and I facilitate. You know, really it's just being able to see the look on their face when you make progress. You know, it's being able to be there when you realize that, they've achieved something they never thought they could.
We're grateful for the hundreds of volunteers who come almost on a daily basis to help serve and invest their time in meeting the needs of the homeless. IHS is strongly committed to healing the impact of homelessness on children and helping them emerge healthy and ready to succeed in life.
We have an after-school program called Homework Club, where they really get help with not only their homework, but really some enrichment activities that help them to feel like they're right in there with the rest of their classmates. We keep in touch with the schools so that the children are really attending school. And that is one of the problems with homeless children, is that sometimes they're not very consistent with school attendance.
It is our goal in the short time we have with them, not only to make an impression on a young life, but also to build their imagination and discipline. Here, they find a safe place where they can share their emotions and learn and grow in self-confidence.
They let us do our homework and stuff.
Yeah, finish.
Yeah, they help us.
I would say probably one of the most inspiring things that I went through was I had a family, and that family had a lot of ups and downs, and I fought very hard for them, and it's so inspiring to me now because of everything that they went through to know where they are at now. So they're in their housing. They've actually gotten their public housing. The kids are doing so good in school now. They're all getting along. The family's reunited. And they still write to me. And it says, "Dear Miss Angela, thank you for everything that you've done for me and my family. I know that we've been through a lot of problems because of my brother, and that you always were there to calm him down, and that I want to say this thank you for always being there for me through my hard times, and at IHS, and most of all, you made a big change in my family." So that's probably what makes this place that much more rewarding, because even when we have to make really hard decisions that we know are helpful to the families and are for the best.
IHS is the best!
We envision a time where anyone who wants to work and play and really be a part of the ohana here in Hawaii will have a safe, decent, and affordable place to live.
Landing a job and finding a new home are daunting tasks for any of us, but even more so if you've been homeless for a while. The employment program provides guests with much needed encouragement through the whole job hunting process. They even offer post-hire support to help them sustain employment.
We also have special programs to just help people with finding housing, helping them to get from one rental to another maybe. So we help with rental subsidies and just helping them be better tenants. Because some people have a place but they've lost their place because they just haven't known how to be a good tenant, paying rent on time and budgeting and being able to take care of their apartment. So we really help them to learn those skills as well.
From harvesting from our edible gardens to cooking up hot, delicious meals in our certified kitchen, the IHS Meal Program seeks to communicate care and nourishment for both body and soul.
One of the really neat initiatives that we have going right now is our urban farming initiative, which really was meant at first to help us grow some nutritious food for our kitchen. That program has actually become like a job training program in addition to providing the food. So we're teaching people skills, to know how to garden and to possibly go into a green job, where they're actually helping to grow food for Hawaii.
They do 25 hours of volunteer service in the garden, and at the end of each training, we give them a certificate, a little stipend, And hopefully with these credentials, they can go out into the community and get a job.
IHS serves between 600 and 700 meals each and every day. More than half of the meals goes to feed the shelter's residents, but the other portion goes to feed a hungry individual coming in just for a hot meal and some respite.
I don't even think it's just homelessness. So some people that don't have money for food and stuff are allowed to come to IHS and participate in the food drives that we do each month. You know, they're able to receive medical attention if they have medical problems or medical issues. They can get diabetes checkups, psychological evaluations done. All this stuff is done through IHS and the services that we provide.
IHS enjoys a strong partnership with the Hawaii Food Bank and has been hosting a monthly Ohana food drop. They fill the food pantry with fresh produce, milk, and various canned goods for any home in need. From the beginning, when IHS was better known as the Peanut Butter Ministry, to today, offering the comfort of a filled stomach has been an invaluable way to communicate to homeless people that they are cared for.
There's a female. She was maybe about 8.5 months pregnant, sitting on the lanai. She was crying. So I walked outside and I, made a small talk, introduced myself, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And her whole story was she got kicked out of her family's house because the mother had found out she was pregnant and she dropped out of school. So she was actually at her lowest point, to the point where she wanted to commit suicide. And her friend had actually brought her to IHS. So I sat down, soothed her, gave her something to eat, and I told her about all the services that IHS provided. And I told her, well, let's just give it one night. If it's really that bad, then, maybe we can have you talk to someone else. So the next day, we got her hooked up with a case manager. They helped her get back on her feet, getting nutrition and care for her baby because she didn't have any kind of prenatal care for her baby. Maybe in a few weeks, she had moved out. I didn't hear from her. I didn't know what had happened. She came back maybe about a year after, smiling. She was so happy. I was like, "Hey, do you remember me?" I was like, "No, not really." So she explained to me that I was the one that actually made her change how she was thinking about her and her baby's life. So like, "What do you mean?" Well, she's now employed, have a full-time job. She made amends with her family, has her own place, and her child was really healthy. I get stories like this all the time, and that's what gets me so excited working here at IHS. Little by little, even if we don't think that we are, somebody out there, we're touching their lives.